What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Shadowverse Worlds Beyond video. And today we got something spicy for y'all since we made a new ABYSSCRAFT deck. It's not aggro, it's not mid-range, it's kind of like a mixture of both. I like to call it combo abyss. Right? So while I was like making tournament decks, I stumbled upon this very interesting card, which is the Malice. And you might be saying, yo, Nero, why are you running this card in a mid-range deck? It doesn't make sense. At first, I thought that as well. But then, I was like, wait a second. What if you played like aggro but still have the capabilities of a mid-range deck because of Cerberus? Because I tried to play aggro, it was so coin flippy. It had no card draw. It relied so much on getting a perfect curve. It relied on you drawing barrel at the start. I didn't like it. Mid-range. I played mid-range. It was kind of slow. It gets outvalued by rune. It gets outboarded by sword. So I was like, yeah, it also like gets bursted by forest. So I was thinking, what the hell does Abyss do then? And I took some time to look at the cards, and I realized the thing that Abyss has that other crafts don't is fast reach. So what am I talking about? Ghosts, right? So with this deck, your game plan is to have multiple copies of Ghost in your hand and use that to combo with like several cards in the deck to push face damage. So you have like Vuela, of course. You can do double Vuela combos. It's gonna deal a lot of damage. Right, single Vuela is fine too. You have the Shadow Crypt Memorial for the Ghost. You have your Olivia. It's a removal and also a super evolved Storm. Right? You have Odin and you have Cerby. Right? So you might be saying, yo, why do you not run like why do you just like not run like Mummy then if you want a Storm? And here's the thing. I kinda want the Charon to get the field out instead, right? I think it's more consistent play, right? And I also think Mino not only gives you more board, but it's also a removal in late game. So basically, I think Mummy is kind of a dead card in a lot of board states, outside of like board states that you're curving. Mummy is a really good card, don't get me wrong, but like Mummy does the same job as Ghosts. Basically, they are these cards where they are the recipient of the steroids from the Vuela and also your super evolved turns. But I figured like Ghost can just do that. And you might be saying, but Mummy leaves a body on the board. Well, the game plan of this deck is basically just bursting. Yeah. It kind of feels like Roach in a way because it kind of pokes you down with a lot of ghosts. And then I also added Grimnir in the deck because there are a lot of situations where you want to go face with the super evolve, but you also want to clear. Grimnir kind of solves that issue, so I have one copy of it. I'm actually considering adding two. Excella is a one-off, and because one of the problems I had with Aggro Abyss was if you run Excella, like 3 copies of her, and you draw multiple of her, she kind of breaks her hand. And she also does damage to your face. If you use it for removal, it feels awful. So I figured only running one of it as a one-off, as a finisher, you draw into it, maybe you have a memorial set up, right? Maybe you have a Vuela, maybe you have like Ghost, like Excella will be able to play with that. So, like the reason why I made this deck was because I got tired of relying on Cerby all the time. I was like, okay, mid-range doesn't win games unless they draw Cerby. So I was like, okay, how about we rely on everything else in the deck? And for that to be enabled even further, you need like a good start, and you also need more resources. Cultivator Malice makes you reanimate one into like a print ghost. Yeah, instead of a skeleton, it's a print a ghost. And you might be saying, maybe that's not worth with Cerby then, because reanimate one with Cerby, like you want the Coco Mimi. While I understand that, your games won't go long. typically you're gonna be put in these situations where you're super evolving a ghost to finish off the game instead of super evolving cerby in the first place. Alright, so let's talk about the mulligan real quick before we dive into the games. You want to keep like Cultivator Malice, of course, because it's your only turn 1 play. You want the Soiree because it's a really good card. It gives you a turn 2, turn 3, right? All in one card, a lot of resources. Vuela is good into trading early game, right? And Vuela is not a dead card also, drawing late, so that's really nice. Like, you just want to have Vuela in your hand, like, whenever. Charon, you keep Charon, typically if you have a Field Dow, and if you have a Field Dow and Malice start, you can, like, get Charon with just a Malice start. But I would say Charon is good if you're going, like, second, I think. Just because of the fact that you can print boards that are equal to 4, which would mean you can outlive like Aningrea turns if you print 4 tokens on the board. So yeah, that's a good fanfare without evolving, because you're not reacting, you're summoning when you go second. So yeah, that's a better. As a reactive though, Argivi, of course, you need Argivi. It's a board wipe. It deals with most turn 5s in the game. Really hard against like Zirconia, I know, but that's the reason why we want to have a decent start. And of course, we have our panic button Apollo. Right. This is the oh, I don't have Argivi and I need to clear a board button. Right. So these are the cards that you want in the early game. You want to keep a cerby if you can. If you're against aggro, don't keep the cerby if you're against aggro. Instead, keep Olivia. Because typically aggro ends at 7, you're gonna need that heal. And the other cards, special mention that you can add to this deck are of course the Mummy, the Ortus. You can also add Divine Thunder, Genzetsu, Burial. If you want to like go all in into the aggro side, then Burial. Then Soul Predation if you're having trouble with cardio. And if you want more bodies on the board, this is a card that's more so playing for cerby, which like I said, I don't really like doing that anymore. Gensetsu is like for playing late game, but I think there's no point in playing the late game for Abyss because you get outvalued by most decks anyway, like Gildaria Sword and Rune, Cock Declimb and all that. So yeah, like I don't think Gensetsu is that good of a card because of that reason. If it was a turn 8 card, if it's a 8 mana card, sure, but it's a turn 9 card, so it's kind of slow. Most of your games end at turn 7, turn 8. So yeah. Alright, I'm gonna show you gameplay now of the deck, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy. They don't know the technology, chat. I actually want to keep this. Is it worth to keep Charon? Argivi is nice too. Yeah, this is a rough matchup. Don't worry, I'm fully aware. Okay. The matchup's not so bad anymore. Matchup's not so bad anymore, chat. Yep. What is he gonna do? Trade? Like, you see how big a difference having a turn 1 play is, chat? Holy. What is he gonna do here? Value trade this? Nope. Now I get to crypt safely now. Or I can Vuela. What does he even do here? Yeah, I actually don't know what he does here. Crypt is kind of slow. Yeah. Fairy? We're racing with our lives on the line, Mr. Forest player. Lily? Lily evolve? I'm forced into a slow turn, huh? I am forced into a slow turn. Mukon. Hit. Ghost. I get to save my crip if I do that. Yeah, I get to save my crip if I do that. Double Vuela, super evolved turn. That doesn't sound too bad actually. Why killing the last fairy? Huh? What do you mean? Huh? Wait, what? Wait, you don't want to kill the fairy? Huh? Wait. Interesting. You don't want to clear the fairy? Interesting. Showtime. Yo, do the combo! Do the combo! You gotta do the combo! Where's the combo? Oh! Where's the combo, buddy boy? Where's the combo? Yo, do the combo! Come on, do the combo, buddy boy! Come on, do the combo. Don't be shy, come on. Why are you shy? Why are you shying away from... Do the roach combo, bro! Don't you love doing that? Ray, one-shotting somebody from 20 HP? Oh, yeah, do the combo, come on, buddy boy. Oh, yo! Do the combo, come on. You look shock cute. Well, your roach shock cute, bro. Your roach is shock cute. Ayo. Oh, yo. Yo, what are we doing? Oh. Kyoshiki. Murasaki. Most of my games don't go to turn 9, dude. Why would you do that? For the most part, by the way, you're not super evolving Cerby, you're super evolving the ghost. Where redeem? What? What do you mean where redeem? Huh? Is this ramp? Could be ramp. We could play for an early Excella maybe? I kinda wanna trade into this, but it's so slow though. Yeah, it's so slow. Mermaid Band and Barnacle Boy comes though. I want to be able to cash out with Excella here. Yo, there says thanks for short follow. Wow, he's a ramp? Interesting. So we have what Amalia, a sword. Yeah, it's 9 mana though. If it was 8 mana, sure. It's 9 mana, dude. So big. Like, yeah. I'm not saying it's not worth, I'm just saying it's too big. What does he even play next turn? Combo card? Combo card, right? Neptune, yeah. We can save the build up for the Neptune turn. Yeah, Koi Neptune. It's a really strong play. Burn Knight. Wait, you don't get a crest for that. Bro, you don't get a crest. Bro, you don't get a. Bro, you don't get a crest for that. Bro. You okay? Is bro okay? He burned for Garyu? Yeah, he just burned. Yeah, he burned Garyu. What's another 8 mana card though? Yeah, what's another 8 mana card actually? Dude, isn't this guy just kinda cooked? Ooh. Fenny? Oh, Fenny actually. You're right. Hotshot. Next turn is lethal. If he doesn't heal, next turn is lethal. I'm keeping the ghost. Yeah, keeping the ghost. He just really likes her Evo art, maybe, dude. Nah, GG. He lost. Wow, that's kind of fucked up. He can't do anything. He actually can't do anything. Dude, that guy had this like cursor on the button, right? Before the turn even started. Oh! Alright, that would be it for this YouTube video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. If you guys want to see the link of the deck list once again, it'll be down below in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.